KHOU 11 Plus. Your news starts now.
We will work with everything that we have.
A somber day for Houston. Former Houston mayor and current U.S. Congressman Sylvester Turner has died at the age of 70. According to Turner's family, the former mayor did attend President Donald Trump's joint address to Congress last night in Washington, D.C. He was taken to the hospital from there, but later released. He died at his home this morning. Turner was recently elected to represent District 18. That was held by Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee for nearly 30 years before her death. Now local leaders are saying Turner's passing is heartbreaking and will have a deep impact on Houston.
And our constituents, they need an advocate. So whoever fills his shoes, whoever fills Congresswoman Jackson Lee's shoes, have a big shoes to fill.
So as the city grieves, many are wondering who will fill Turner's congressional seat.
Brandon Rottinghouse, our KHOU 11 political analyst, joining us now. Brandon, let's talk about what's next for this district, District 18. How soon could there be an election for this seat?
It might not be terribly soon. State law requires the governor to call a special election. Now, they can do so in one of two ways. He can either call it a way that lets that special election come with the next uniform election, which would be May, or he can call it even sooner as an emergency fashion where it could be before May. My guess is that we'll probably have this election in May, which does not leave a lot of time for campaigning.
You know, Brandon, everyone is wondering who it will be. Amanda Edwards, who began her political career as an intern in Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee's office, lost the seat to Turner. She's a former Houston City Council member. Can we safely assume Edwards would run again? And who else could throw their hat in the ring?
I think it's pretty safe to say that Edwards will be in this. She's raised a lot of money. Her profile is pretty high. She's made it clear she wants to run again, so I think she'd definitely be in contention. But she won't be alone. I think that this is a moment of real generational change in this district. It's certainly the case that we're going to see a lot of people who are going to jump in. It's possible that you'll see Joanna Jones jump in. Christian Menefee, who is the current Harris County attorney, potentially would be somebody who might want to pursue this seat. James Dixon ran for the seat when it was open with Sheila Jackson Lee's passing. Maybe Brett Boykins. There could be other people who have decided to jump in because this is going to be a race that is going to be big, and it's also, I think, the case that this seat is one that a person could hold for a very, very long time.
And taking a larger view of all this, what does this mean now for the balance of power in Congress?
Yeah, I think the simple story is that in the near term, it's going to make it easier to get a majority. Republicans have got a one-seat majority, so that gives them very little flexibility when it comes to some big budget items that are going to come up. But with this math problem that they're going to have, because the seat will be empty, it gives the Republicans a bit more of a cushion. It won't change things dramatically, but it could on very marginal votes.
Brandon Rottinghouse, thanks for speaking with us.
Appreciate it.
And now more reaction pouring in this afternoon in the wake of Sylvester Turner's death. We are hearing from numerous organizations in the city expressing condolences.
And that includes the Houston Police Officers Union, who posted on social media saying Turner was, quote, a steadfast advocate for our city. His unwavering commitment to public service and dedication to improving the lives of Houstonians will be deeply missed. Our thoughts and prayers are with his family during this difficult time. Marty Langton, president of the Houston Professional Firefighters Association, also issued a statement saying, in part, while our union had a deeply contentious relationship with him and his decisions had a profound impact on Houston firefighters, we also recognize his decades of service to the city and the country. We offer our sympathies to those mourning his loss.
And here is a post from the Houston Texans saying, in part, his dedication to our city and imprint on our community will always be remembered. Our heartfelt condolences are with Congressman Turner's family, friends, and all who were impacted by his leadership. The Houston Astros also posting this, which includes photos from his time in Houston cheering on the two-time World Series champions. We have continuing coverage on the life of Sylvester Turner on KHOU.com, including his battle with cancer. Again, it's on KHOU.com.
Another. This is a complex issue, and you are talking about programs that impact a lot of people like Medicaid. There's no doubt
It's a big loss for our community. Just a couple months ago, we were celebrating his inauguration.
Not many people know how close Sylvester and I was.
My heart is deeply heavy. Sylvester was a fraternity brother. He was a mentor. He was a church member of the Church Without Walls.
To Ashley and the rest of the Turner family, thank you so much for sharing such an amazing person with us.
It's so good. He was the best person for the job. He never knows when we will be called home, and I'm glad that he was given the opportunity to serve to this final breath.
Congressman Sylvester Turner, beloved by so many, including family, colleagues, and even his political adversaries.
He had served in Congress for only 2 months before we learned of his passing today at the age of 70. Here's what we know. Last night, Turner was in the Capitol for President Trump's joint address to Congress. Here he is talking to a woman while he was there. At some point, he was not feeling well, experiencing a medical emergency, according to a spokesperson. They say Turner went to the hospital, was checked out, and released. Then this morning at about 5:45, Turner died at home in Washington from what his family called, quote, enduring health complications. They said his death was unexpected. I spoke extensively with Turner the past 2 years about his battle with cancer. He told me he had recovered. We do not know if his death was cancer related.
Sylvester Turner never strayed far from Acres Homes. He grew up there and still resided in his beloved Faux, as he would always proudly proclaim.
Said that very often in speeches, and it is there where so many people are touched by his passing, including one of his most loyal friends. Jason Miles, live on the North Side with more from what he had to say. Jason?
Hey there, guys. Yeah, we're at the Acres Homes Multi-Service Center this evening. You may be able to see behind me the flags here are at half-staff as longtime constituents, longtime confidants. Remember Sylvester Turner. In an area where a city park was previously named in Sylvester Turner's honor, many are now reflecting on the longtime elected leader's passing.
My children grew up saying Uncle Sylvester.
Bishop James Dixon has served many roles in his own career, but says being Turner's friend and supporter is among his most cherished.
Sylvester Turner loved people regardless of who you were, black, white, brown, gay, straight, tall or short, rich or poor. And even if you didn't support him politically, he believed in your humanity.
Happy Juneteenth! He says Turner was proud to be from what he routinely called the 4-4 after the bus route he'd take from Acres Homes to downtown where his mother worked as a maid at the old Rice Hotel.
And will be remembered as one of Acres Homes' favorite sons.
We met Raynetta Glenn today at the Acres Homes Multi-Service Center as word of Turner's death was still spreading.
When there was a funeral, when there was a shower, when there was anything that was going on, Sylvester Turner was there supporting the community.
One community within a much larger city, all served for so long by who Dixon calls a champion while challenged, especially during his recent illness.
And I think that was what I want to keep in my mind about Sylvester Turner, that no matter the challenge, he kept being a people's champion.
And take a look at this coming up on April 4th, or 4-4 is 4-4 Day here in Acres Homes, here at the Multi-Service Center. In fact, I'm told Congressman Turner was planning to participate in this event now. It will serve partly as a tribute to him. Reporting live from the North Side, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.
He beloved his loved neighborhood. Jason, thank you.
I found myself this morning having to cope with the loss of a friend. Sylvester Turner and I grew up in politics together. It's a great loss.
Congressman Al Green recalling the moments he found out about his friend and colleague. Over the years, Turner was looked upon by his colleagues as close companions. And during Turner's 8 years as Houston mayor, he helped guide the city through a series of natural disasters and emergencies.
Yeah, from the historic flooding caused by Hurricane Harvey to the COVID pandemic. Rika Mudaraj in the newsroom with more on his political career from the perspective of a man who followed Turner closely. Rika.
Yeah, very closely. The Houstonian that may know the most about Turner's long political career is KHOU 11 political analyst Bob Stein. Now, Stein says he knew Turner for 47 years and has followed every political race he's entered.
I probably called on Sylvester Turner more than any single human living person in this constellation.
Bob Stein, a longtime political science professor at Rice University, says he has followed Sylvester Turner's work in public office for decades and says what set the lifelong Democrat apart from other politicians was his ability to reach across the aisle.
I think what's interesting is he wasn't always as partisan and ideological as, of course, the contemporary scene seems.
Stein also reflected on Turner's 4 runs for Houston mayor, first in 1991 and then again in 2003.
This tells you about tenacity. I don't think that Sylvester Turner was ever deterred by what were some very early crushing, if not politically crushing, personally crushing defeats.
Amidst defeat, Turner would continue serving in the Texas House of Representatives, representing District 139 for 27 years. But a mayoral victory came for Turner in 2015, followed by a successful re-election in 2019. During his 8 years in office, he led Houston through several federally declared natural disasters, including Hurricane Harvey, the COVID-19 pandemic, and complex pension reform. But he was not without his critics.
Will Turner's legacy as a public servant be looked back on favorably?
You know, I'm a political scientist, not an historian. I think the more people look and dig, the more they find.